Welcome back to The Remote Islander, your go-to podcast for all things remote work in the Caribbean and Latin America. Lately, I've been doing some thinking about what really makes a remote worker shine. It goes way deeper than having a good internet connection. There are these core skills that become absolutely essential when you're not in a traditional office. In this two-part episode, I'm focusing on those must-have abilities, the human side and the get-it-done side, that build the foundation for a fantastic remote career. We're talking about how we connect with our teams, how we stay on top of our work, how we team up even when we're miles apart, and ultimately, how we can really flourish in this super flexible and sometimes unpredictable world. So settle in wherever you're tuning in from, and let's chat about the essential skills, both the tangible and the interpersonal, that will set you up for success. In this episode, we're talking about those all-important soft skills. Think of these as your people's superpowers, the things that make you a fantastic teammate and someone everyone loves working with, even when you're not in the same room. And we're kicking things off with something that's just huge in the remote world: communication. Seriously, you hear people say communication is key, and when you're remote, that's like times 10. And for those of you remote workers who are non-native English speakers, this can be a challenging one. It's not just a nice to have, it's the absolute bedrock of how we get things done when we're spread out. Think about it. Most of our interactions happen through screens and keyboards, so every single word, the tone we use, even the little nuances, need to be really deliberate and well thought out. It's way more than just sending emails back and forth. Good remote communication is like a Swiss Army knife. It's got a bunch of different tools. You need to be super clear and to the point in your writing, whether it's a quick message on Slack or a detailed project plan. You've got to be a great listener in those virtual meetings, like really hearing what your colleagues are saying, even when you can't see their whole body language. And it's about putting your thoughts and ideas out there clearly and with empathy so everyone understands exactly what you mean. Plus, knowing how to communicate is key. Sometimes a quick message is all you need, but other times, hopping on a quick video call can save a ton of headaches and build way stronger connections. And hey, let's not forget being responsive and keeping everyone in the loop. When you're remote, silence can make people nervous, so even small updates can make a big difference. And since we're all working with people from all over the globe these days, especially those of us in the Caribbean and Latin America, being aware of different communication styles is super important. Being sensitive to cultural differences helps everyone feel included and avoids any accidental misunderstandings. So, how do you get better at this communication thing, right? Luckily, there are some awesome resources out there. Platforms like Coursera, edX, and LinkedIn Learning have tons of courses designed to boost your business writing, your speaking skills, how well you listen, and even how to navigate different communication styles across cultures. Look for courses that give you practical exercises and really focus on being clear and empathetic in how you communicate. Even just practicing with friends and family can give you some good feedback and build your confidence. Bottom line, mastering communication isn't just about making sure you're heard. It's about truly connecting with your remote teammates and creating a collaborative and productive vibe, no matter where anyone is in the world. It's like the invisible glue that holds remote teams together. So put some energy into this skill, and you'll see a huge difference in your remote work life. All right, next up, we're talking about a power duo that can really take your remote work game to the next level: self-discipline and time management. When your office can be anywhere from your spare bedroom to a hammock with a view, lucky you, the usual office rules kind of disappear. There's no boss looking over your shoulder, no set start and end times that are dictated by a commute. And in that kind of setup, you become your own boss. And that takes some serious self-discipline. Self-discipline in the remote world is all about staying focused and motivated, even when Netflix is calling your name or you want to scroll through social media for just a minute. It's about being able to prioritize what needs to get done, sticking to your schedule, and tuning out all those distractions that pop up when your work life and personal life happen in the same space. And right there with self discipline is time management and organization. When you don't have the structure of a regular office, knowing how to use your time wisely becomes super important. That means setting realistic deadlines, breaking down big projects into smaller steps, and juggling all those different tasks, maybe even across different time zones. So, how do you get better at these crucial skills? Well, there's a ton of great info out there. For getting a handle on your time, definitely check out our episode on time management for some useful techniques to boost your efficiency. Platforms like Skillshare and Udemy have some fantastic courses on different time management methods. Even free resources exist, like the blog from the folks at Doist have some really helpful tips and tricks. When it comes to getting organized, look into courses on project management, even if you're not officially a project manager. Understanding how projects work and using organizational tools can really boost your own productivity. Again, Udemy and Skillshare are great places to start. Plus, get to know tools like Trello, Asana, and Notion. They usually have their own tutorials on YouTube that show you how to use them to manage your tasks and projects like a pro. Developing strong self discipline and mastering your time isn't just about getting more work done. It's about creating a way of working that's actually sustainable and enjoyable. It puts you in control of your time, lowers your stress levels, and helps you to really thrive in this flexible remote world. Okay, let's be honest for a minute. Working outside a traditional office can throw some unexpected things your way. Maybe your internet decides to take a vacation, project goals suddenly change, or that line between work and life starts to get really blurry. That's where our next set of essential skills comes in: adaptability and resilience. Being adaptable in the remote world means being open to new situations, embracing change instead of fighting it, and being ready to adjust how you do things when needed. It's about being flexible with your schedule, the tools you use, even how you communicate as things evolve. It also means being a quick study, picking up new tech or processes without getting flustered. Right alongside adaptability is resilience. This is your ability to bounce back when things get tough in the remote world. Those tech headaches, communication hiccups, those moments when you might feel a little isolated. It's about having the mental toughness to keep going, learn from any mistakes, and stay positive even when things aren't going exactly as planned. So, how do you build these important qualities? Well, there isn't a specific course called How to Be Super Adaptable because a lot of it comes from experience, putting yourself in new situations and pushing your comfort zone a little. But you can definitely work on the skills that support adaptability and resilience. Also, taking care of your stress levels and mental well being is crucial for building resilience. Resources like mindfulness.com and apps like Calm or Headspace have some great tools and techniques for managing stress, practicing mindfulness, and building a more resilient mindset. These things can really help you handle the pressures of remote work and bounce back more easily when things don't go your way. Ultimately, adaptability and resilience are like muscles. You build them over time. By trying new things, making your mental well being a priority while adding in some time management and organization skills, you'll be much better equipped to handle whatever the remote work world throws at you and really thrive. Now, when you're not in a traditional office, you often need to be the first one to spot a problem and the one to figure out how to fix it. Without those quick chats with colleagues in person, your ability to think things through and take action on your own is super valuable. That brings us to problem solving and initiative. Problem solving in the remote world is more than just saying, hey, something's not right. It's about really digging into the issue, breaking it down into smaller pieces, brainstorming different ways to tackle it using what you have available, and then figuring out the best way to move forward. And right there with problem solving is initiative. This is your drive to not only fix problems when they pop up, but also to see where things could be better or where there's a new opportunity, and then actually doing something about it without waiting for someone to tell you. It's about being a self-starter who sees what needs to be done and takes the lead, showing you're invested and contributing beyond just your assigned tasks. So how do you get better at these? For problem solving, I really recommend checking out courses on critical thinking and different problem solving methods. Platforms like Coursera, edX, and Udemy have some great options that give you frameworks and ways to approach challenges in a structured way. Look for courses that really focus on how to analyze things and make decisions. Additionally, focusing on your problem-solving skills can really help you navigate those unexpected challenges that pop up from time to time. Even though it's known for math and science, Khan Academy has some great resources for developing logical thinking and analytical skills, which are super helpful for figuring out creative solutions. To build your initiative, which comes a lot from within, you can learn ways to foster it. Think about looking into resources on project management basics, understanding how projects flow, and where you can jump in and contribute proactively. Also, just watching how successful colleagues take initiative and learning from their approach can be really helpful. Now let's switch gears and talk about something that really fuels your remote work engine: self-motivation. When you're working remotely, a lot of the usual things that keep you going in an office just aren't there. No commute to kickstart your day, no boss constantly checking in, and less of that energy you get from being in a shared workspace. That means your ability to stay focused, driven, and on track really comes down to what's inside you. Self-motivation is that internal push that gets you started on tasks, keeps you going when things get tough, and helps you stay productive even when there's a million distractions around. It's about setting your own goals, managing your time effectively, which I know we've talked about so many times, and holding yourself accountable for your work. It's about staying engaged and committed without needing someone else to constantly nudge you. Building self-motivation is a personal journey, but there are definitely things that can help. Look into resources on goal setting, ways to build good habits, and how to beat procrastination. Books and articles on productivity and mindset can also give you some good insights. For more structured help, platforms like Mind Valley often have courses that focus on personal growth, motivation, and getting things done. Plus, revisiting resources on time management and self-discipline can indirectly boost your self-motivation by helping you feel more in control of your work and your time. Ultimately, being a good problem solver who takes initiative and having a strong sense of self-motivation are like the two legs of a successful remote career. By actively working on both of these, you'll be much better prepared for everything that comes with working from anywhere. Finally, let's talk about a skill that might seem a little less concrete than, say, knowing your way around Zoom, but it's absolutely vital for making remote work with other humans: emotional intelligence. Think about it. When you're working with people across different time zones and maybe even different cultures, and you're mostly relying on emails or quick video calls, you can miss a lot of those subtle human cues. You don't see body language in the same way, and you can't always sense the mood in the office. That's where emotional intelligence becomes your secret weapon for connecting with people effectively through a screen. Emotional intelligence has two parts: understanding and managing your own emotions, and being able to recognize and understand the emotions of others. When you're remote, this means being aware of how your own feelings might be coming across in your virtual interactions. Are you sounding stressed or short in your emails? Are you really listening and acknowledging how your colleagues might be feeling during a video call, even if you can't see their whole face? Trying to understand how others are feeling remotely takes a bit more effort and empathy. It's about paying close attention to the words they use, the tone in their writing, and even those little facial expressions or changes in their voice on video. It's about trying to see things from their point of view, even if you don't agree, and responding in a thoughtful and understanding way. So why is this so important when you're remote? Because it builds trust, cuts down on misunderstandings, and makes for a more positive and supportive virtual team. When you can understand and respond to your colleagues' emotions effectively, you're better at working through conflicts, building good relationships, and just generally working together smoothly, even when you're physically far apart. So, how do you boost your emotional intelligence when working remotely? Luckily, there are some great resources out there. I highly recommend checking out what the Yale Center for Emotional Intelligence has to offer. They often have free resources and really solid research-based stuff on understanding and improving your emotional intelligence. Another fantastic place to look is the Harvard Business Review. They're always putting out articles and even courses on emotional intelligence and empathy, specifically in the workplace. You'll find some really practical tips and ideas you can start using right away in your remote interactions. Investing in your emotional intelligence isn't just about being a nice person to work with. It's about being a really effective person in the remote world. It helps you build real connections, creates a better team environment, and ultimately makes your virtual workspace a more productive and enjoyable place to be. So there you have it, a deep dive into the essential soft skills that truly empower remote workers to thrive. From clear and empathetic communication that bridges distances to the self-discipline and time management that make you your own best boss, and the adaptability and resilience that help you navigate the unexpected, these interpersonal abilities are the glue that holds remote teams together. And let's not forget the crucial role of emotional intelligence in fostering strong connections and understanding through the screen. By actively cultivating these soft skills, you're not just becoming a more effective remote worker, you're becoming a more valuable collaborator, a more resilient individual, and ultimately, someone who can truly flourish in this dynamic and increasingly connected world. If you found this episode helpful, please show your support and like, follow, subscribe, rate, and review us to help us reach a wider audience. And don't keep these tips to yourself. Share this episode with friends, family, or colleagues who could benefit. Plus, be sure to check the links in the description to join us on social media for even more insights, tips, and a supportive community. Thank you for listening to this episode of The Remote Islander. If you're considering remote work, remember that it's never too late to take control of your career and pursue your dreams. Happy remote working. Bye.